Hello all, this is Dr. Parks-Yancy, and I am the professor for our class, Business Communication. Welcome! In our class, we will be discussing the various ways that individuals and organizations communicate. We will address specifically where people communicate a message that was received as intended by the recipient, and also where that is not at all what happened. We will always use very specific organizational examples, and they can be from any industry, doesn't matter, but they must be real life and actual. So let me give you an example. But we all know that in the United States, the NFL is $1 billion industry. It's a business, and it's a major business. Some of the organizations that operate within that industry communicate different messages. So, for example, recently, the Dallas Cowboys, very well-known franchise, has decided that they have a valuable player named worker, if you will, named Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant has been involved in a number of situations that involve the police and reflect negatively on him, and many would argue reflect negatively on the company, which is the Dallas Cowboys. So they have now implemented some rules for him, which are different than those for other employees similar to him in terms of other teammates, because teammates they're employees. He has a curfew, he can't drink alcohol, number of restrictions. So one could ask then, what message is the organization communicating by restricting one employee to certain behaviors, but not necessarily having those restrictions for others? So those are the type of organizational examples that I am talking about. Or another example, let's go to the tech sector. You may know that Microsoft, Bill Gates Foundation, they're offering huge grants to anyone who can come up with ways to develop toilets, to make toilets that are environmentally friendly, but also are cheap, because they're meant for countries which don't have the infrastructure in terms of water and electricity. When you think about it, typically a toilet actually takes a fair amount of electricity and water to work in terms of flushing and so on. But many countries don't have access to those resources, and they have inadequate bathroom facilities. So the Bill Gates Foundation is offering a tremendous amount of money to developers who can come up with toilets that will satisfy the needs for developing countries. What message is the foundation communicating by offering these grants? One could argue that they care about the environment, and two, I think it sends the broader message of how science, technology, and engineering and mathematics really drives the development of a society. Because, a toilet is a scientific, technological, if you will, invention. But anyway, those are the types of examples that I'm talking about, okay? Read the syllabus, please. All documents, materials for the course are posted in course documents on Blackboard. The group assignments are also on Blackboard, and the syllabus clearly explains how to contact your group in Blackboard. And I've already had the group set up there, and that's where, and I'm going to say there is in Blackboard, and you can email them, you can have video conferencing, you can post wikis, blogs, so on and so forth, that are meant for your group members. Their group assignments are mandatory, and there are several group assignments for our class. You cannot switch groups. Where you are is who you are with. And we do that because it's just like at work. I'm sure all of us have been on teams at work, and we have no control over who's in our team or who's not in our team. Okay? So to learn how to work together. And this is never more prevalent than in the online environment. Now, let me mention something else that's very, very important. As noted throughout the entire syllabus, late work is not accepted. Late work is not accepted. Late is defined as even 1 second past the due date and time that the designated discussion board forum or assignment forum closes. All work for our class is due on Fridays by 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. After that time, the work is not accepted. And I do not accept work by email, mail to me, or anything like that. The work is only accepted on the designated forum in Blackboard. Let's talk about your first assignment. Your first assignment is due on Friday, September the 7th, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. There are two parts to this assignment. Your first part is you must post a video, and only a video, of yourself telling us your name, your job, where do you work, just give a sense of what do you do, a communication trait where you need to improve, and a communication trait where you are awesome. You must give a specific example of how your communication trait was awesome and a situation where it was clear you need to improve. Here's a caveat. Your video can be no more than 3 minutes. And I do this because we're business people. Business people must learn to communicate in an effective manner, but to be concise. As noted on the syllabus on page 9, students will lose 5 points for every second that their video exceeds 3 minutes, and the time length of the video must be visible to all of us, as in me, the professor, and fellow students. The other part of this assignment, and again, they're both still due Friday the 7th, 12 p.m. CST, is you will then watch the student's video and then comment on their video. You will type in your comment on the forum on Blackboard. Please state the person's name so we know whose video you are commenting on. Here's the thing. For this assignment, and basically for our entire class, remember we're on the internet. So do not say anything that you would mind being repeated publicly or attributed to you, the New York Times or CNN or Fox News or any other news outlet. Okay? So, and the syllabus also lists appropriate language. So comment on your classmate's video. Now, here are some things that you need to know, and this is also on page 9 of the syllabus. I clearly list the video formats that Blackboard supports, which are .wmva, .wma, AVI. Do not use Apple video software, because sometimes Blackboard opens it and sometimes it doesn't. I have no control over that. Blackboard is a course platform that is used for the class, so everything you do must be read and understood by Blackboard. Do not use Apple video formats, because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And if I cannot watch your video, you get no credit for the assignment at all, because I'm telling you now which type of formats should be used, and this is also stated in the syllabus. If you use YouTube for your video, that is fine, but do not mark your video as private, or else I in the class will not be able to see it. I encourage you to don't just record your video at the last minute and then post it. Say if something goes wrong. Say if it can't be watched. You're not going to get any credit, and this assignment is worth 2% of your final grade. So I encourage you, record your video a few times, post it on Blackboard, and then, jeez,